Hey everyone, welcome to the first video on this channel. This is an archived recipe from back in 2019 when I was still working in a Japanese restaurant. I remember coming home and wanting to record this video because I didn't want to forget how to wash rice. Specifically how they wash rice at the omakase bar. First off, they start by rinsing the rice quite thoroughly. It looks pretty aggressive, but I promise this is how they taught me because I remember going to the back and asking if I was too rough with the rice, but they made sure to tell me that we do have to use some force, highlighting to me that if the rice is of quality, it should be able to withhold some pressure. There are two methods that they showed me. First one is this cupping, almost kneading motion with the rice. And the second method is pretty similar. The circle just goes in the opposite direction. This is much easier for me, especially when doing larger batches. This is much easier because I just need to turn the bowl and push with my palm. The purpose of doing this is to polish the rice. And here's a slow-mo version of what I'm doing. It's really just cupping my fingers and pushing the rice forward. I'm actually clawing my fingers a lot more than what you can see, and they are looking to hear the crunch of the rice. You'll know if you're putting too much force if your rice is breaking, which shouldn't happen. So just stop every 4 to 5 passes just to check if you're ruining your rice and if your rice is crumbling or not. For the sushi bar, it's important to remove the starch from the rice so that you can see each singular grain. How we wash rice for the rest of the restaurant, which was not the omakase or the sushi bar, is actually to just leave the water running. I know it's very wasteful, but this is just how they did it at the restaurant. Most important thing was actually to soak the rice. That was one of my biggest takeaways. Let me leave you with some rice crunching. Was there enough rice crunching? Here's some pictures of when I used to work in a Japanese restaurant. Sadly, I wasn't allowed to stay at the front, which was the sushi bar, but I got to learn how to cook on the teppanyaki. Learned so much from that experience. That was right before I moved to fine dining. Soak for 30 minutes. Okay, now that we're done with that, we cook the rice. I don't have a fancy rice cooker. I just use the T4 one that I had back in the day. As you can see, the water is relatively clear thanks to all that polishing. If you did it right, you should be able to wash most of the excess starch within 3 to 4 times with agitation of your fingers. Transfer the rice into your rice cooker and cook it with the right amount of water. I use the finger method just because the amount is small, but in the restaurant we have specific measurements. The finger guide is still the best in my opinion, especially if you're cooking small amounts. You just want it to touch the line of your finger. I know there are other methods of putting your whole finger in, measuring how much rice there is, putting it out, and then doing a 1-to-1, but actually doing this method of having the tip of my finger touch the rice and having the water touch the line of my finger has always worked for me. Cook it as per the rice cooker and you're done. Make sure when you're fluffing your rice to do a cutting motion, never press. Almost imagine like you're slicing through the rice. And you're done. Every grain should be singular. You should be able to enjoy the quality of your rice. Just like this. Go and impress your friends and family. Show them you know how to polish rice. And I'll see you in another video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.